Hello and welcome. You're watching Too Sharp with ET. I'm Nisha Podar. Now, the two important stories that you must know about. Markets crack under the weight of India-Pakistan tensions, and which Indian companies are the most exposed if this conflict escalates. So markets fall as border tensions escalate between India and Pakistan, and this conflict also weighs on the investor sentiment. So the Indian markets ended the week over 1% lower, and the Sensex dropped 880 points to settle at 79,454. Nifty 50 lost 266 points, barely holding 24K mark. Total investor wealth erosion was to the tune of 1.7 lakh crore rupees. So the border conflict has caused this market to fall. Overnight, remember, Pakistan launched another round of drone and missile attacks on India. Targets included Jammu, Samba, Araspura, Arnia, etc. Indian air defense neutralized 8 missiles. It's the second night of strikes following Operation Sindoor. Now, India's retaliatory mission that we know about. Nearly 4 dozen people have been killed in cross-border clashes since the Pahalgam terror attack. Now, despite this, markets are showing surprising resilience. The Pakistan Stock Exchange is down 13% since April 22nd. Indian equities are holding better thanks to stronger fundamentals and macro tailwinds. But the FII flows, which remember have been the dominating factor in the market movement in India, are now at risk. Foreign investors had pumped in over 50,000 crore rupees since mid-April in India, but with rising geopolitical risk, they may pause or pull back. The rupee dropped to 85 rupees 88 paise against the dollar, extending its sharpest fall in over 2 years. Capital outflows and currency pressure often follow war-like scenarios. In terms of sectoral pressure, well, it was a broad-based pressure. Nifty Bank, FMCG, media, metals, realty all fell 1 to 2%. In the broader market, mid caps fell 1%, small caps 2%, VIX surged 6%, now at 22.27, signaling nervousness. Technical reasons and trends also look weak. Resistance as well as support levels are to be watched out for. Now, traders are likely to stay cautious heading into the next week. Heavyweights led the slide. Top Nifty players like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Reliance, Infosys, Airtel all dragged the Sensex down. Together, they contribute nearly 670 points to Friday's decline. But it wasn't all red because defense and drone stocks surged, some up 15% amidst the rising demand signals. L&T rose 4% after strong earnings. Kalyan Jewellers gained 3% on 36% jump in the profit. MCX, however, fell nearly 7% after its result. So mixed bag when it comes to stock-specific action, but overall market sentiment has been plagued because of the border tension. So, who stands to lose if tensions escalate? Well, CLSA flags corporate exposure in the border states. It has attempted one report and has released a detailed report on the companies with higher exposure near the India-Pak border. So, the key danger zones, let's take a look at that. Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Let's run through the companies at risk. First, Adani Ports. It operates the Mundra port in Gujarat. That's 42% of its port capacity plus thermal and renewable assets in Khavda. Second, Reliance Industries owns India's largest refinery in Jamnagar. It also has key petrochemicals and new energy hubs in Gujarat. Third, NHPC, 36% of its hydropower capacity lies in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and it's building more as well. Fourth, Power Grid Corporation has big projects in Rajasthan, including a 25,000 crore project transmission line from J&K. Fifth, it's Vedanta. Its cane oil fields are in Barmer, Rajasthan, plus a 2 gigawatt power plant in Punjab. There's more. Shree Cement, Tata Chemicals, HPCL, they all have industrial assets in these zones. Many have insurance, but extended military action could delay or damage projects. So CLSA is cautious but not bearish. It still sees long-term value in Adani Ports due to strong cash flows. It backs NHPC for India's net zero goals and calls the power grid key to green energy infrastructure in the country. But make no mistake, the risks are rising if the situation escalates. These companies could face real disruption, and investors are watching closely. What's the bottom line? Well, the markets have been shaken but not broken yet. So, corporate India is exposed, and that exposure is a risk, but not unprepared. What happens next will really depend on diplomacy, military escalation, as well as how global investors also react to unfolding events. But beyond this report, remember the larger point is that the conflict has impacted the market sentiment, and a lot of business decisions also can get impacted if the situation carries on for a longer time or even intensifies. With that, it's a wrap on 2 Sharp with ET. We'll keep getting you all the details. Hit the like button, subscribe. Goodbye for now.